in Jehovah.
What's going on, FBA family? How you doing? How you doing? First and foremost, man, I want to thank everyone for the love and support. I will always be humble and thankful for that. Much love to y'all for that also. And another thing, I hope y'all having a wonderful day today because it's been gloomy outside out here in Texas. We're in Dallas where I'm at. It's been kind of rainy, so it's been kind of gloomy. So I hope it's sunny and beautiful where you're at, all right? And now, before we get started, please hit that subscribe button for your boy. Please hit that subscribe button for your boy. Now, FBA family, let's have a little conversation right quick. And this always been going around amongst Black American society. We always had like Cointelpro. We always had like chaos agents. We always had things like people trying to infiltrate and things like that. We always had that, right? Now I'm starting to see an uptick of things. I'm starting to see more and more of this right now. You know what I mean? And we got to be strong-minded, y'all. We got to be strong-minded because us as Black Americans, we all we got. Right? We all we got. Now, one of the things I'm seeing is starting to uptick again. It's been that like this a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But it ain't been this up lately. But I noticed this year alone, this gender war thing starting to crank up again, even higher now. Because at one for the last like year and a half, 2 years, I ain't really, they've been going around, don't get me wrong, but it ain't been as vicious as what I'm seeing right now. You know what I'm saying? I think this year is the opening of the gender war. You know, I can give you examples of like the black girl that got unalived out there in Africa by that white dude, you know what I'm saying? Or allegedly got unalived. They say she took a life, but we don't know really. But we starting to see, and there's nothing wrong with people talking about it. Let me first and foremost say this. There's nothing wrong with people talking about it. There's nothing wrong with it. You know, I get it. You know, you date a white man, this is what you get. I understand when people say that. But it does get harmful and disrespectful when we drag somebody with it, right? Or when we not drag somebody, but we drag another race of people, like let's say black men dragging black women, or you got black women dragging black men behind this situation. Like, what we got to do with it? You get what I'm saying? My thing is this. I seen people say, well, the black man didn't protect the black woman from the white man. And I'm seeing black men saying, well, you know, the black woman shouldn't be with the white man. You get what I'm saying? And those conversations can be very, very toxic, man. We ain't gonna get nowhere with that. But I understand those conversations because you're dealing with two hurt people that feel like they want to get the upper hand verbally on one another. And I think that's crazy and I think that's crappy in my opinion. Because I can name both sides. Ain't shit. Trust me. The black man or the black woman ain't shit in these conversations. Just my personal opinion. Because just as well I can dig on a nigga, I can dig on a woman. Best believe that. Then we got this Meg Thee Stallion situation of her and Klay Thompson. I can understand people having conversations about it. But once it started getting negative and nasty towards each other, when we start talking about how women sleep with a bunch of men, how a man ain't gonna be with them, or how men are celebrating another man breaking up with a woman and stuff like that, it can get disgusting. It can get disgusting. Me personally, I don't care. I really don't care. Let me say this. If Meg Thee Stallion was to walk through my door right now, I will simp and pander to her. Let me say that one more time. If Meg Thee Stallion was to walk through my door and say, Brian, I want to be with you, I'm going to be with her. I'm a confident nigga, though. You know, I'm a different type of nigga. I understand where men say, well, you know, a man don't want a woman that slept with a bunch of men, but how would you know? Like, let's say Meg Thee Stallion was a regular person, and let's say she moved from Houston to Atlanta. And she was a 304 in Houston, but she moved to Atlanta. You don't know what she was doing in her past. People do lie. You know what I'm saying? So how would you know? You know what I'm saying? And even if I did know, let's say I did know she had a past, that's my decision. If I still want to rock with her. That's my decision if I want to deal with that. Because sometimes I got to look at myself. I'm a hoe. I'm a hoe out here. I was sleeping with a bunch of women out here. So my way of thinking is this, like, who am I to judge? If I was to date her, who am I to judge? I can understand where men coming from. You know what I'm saying? There are some men that might have a low self-esteem about what type of dick she had up in her. A nigga might feel low self-esteem what other men might think of him, you know, dealing with a woman like that. Totally understand. I totally understand where a fella coming from. But for me personally, Meg Thee Stallion walk through my door, I'm be like, yeah, man, I might be sipping on her a little bit. I might be pandering to her. I might take out some loans just to take care of her. You know, that's just me though. But I can stand on my own 10 toes without worry about what other men think. That's just me as a man. But you see women out here dragging black men behind this situation, saying that black men are weak, black men that sleep around with a bunch of women are gay. That's the most wildest thing too. Like if a man sleep with a bunch of women, what y'all get gay out of there from? That's what I want to know. Where gay come from? I don't know. But I can't figure that part out either. You know what I'm saying? But you see a lot of women say a lot of disparaging things about black men, talking about, I see why black women go, why I think we should date out. You know, all that type of stuff. And black men say the same thing too. But those type of conversations are very negative. Very negative when it comes to what we trying to do to build as black people. When we see content like that, we got to make sure that we're mentally strong and not look at it like every black man is like this or every black woman is like this. And we got to look at the people that are saying this. What are their backgrounds in life? What happened to these black men and women to be so traumatic about the opposite gender? What happened? What understanding can you have so you understand like, nigga, she got her ass kicked. Damn. He got cheated on. Damn. They both went through some traumatic shit and they look at the black man and the black woman in a different way. I've been through every type of situation with a woman y'all can think of except catch an STD. And got set up. Them the two things that ain't happened to me yet. But everything you can think of didn't happen to me with a woman. But I still had the mindset to understand that I just picked the wrong motherfucker. Every black woman I come across, man, has always been a pleasure. Always been something positive. You get what I'm saying? So y'all be careful because they're throwing this gender thing and it's going to be more gender wars coming. It's going to be something else they finna amplify because they know black people love talking about that. And it's a hot topic to talk about it. I ain't knocking people talk about it, but don't get your feelings and your spirit involved in it. Y'all just be careful with that. Another thing that we're seeing now with this infiltration and chaos within us is we see now the Democrats are using our talking points. They're using foundational. They saying foundational people. They saying you need to get something for your vote. They need to say, they saying something else. They start to use more black American historical context in history now. They start to use it like that. We got to be careful with that because when they start talking our language, see, they can talk our language and still include other groups of people. They might say foundational, but they're not going to say foundational black American yet. But they'll say like the people of this land are a foundation to this land. Who? Because then they can say we can give them reparations, but once we said we weren't talking about black people, we're talking about the people that foundation that found this land. You know, it could be immigrants. You know, it could be all these things because they're not being specific about it. And we gotta be careful, man. We gotta be careful with the con game. What these Democrats are doing, they finna come at us full swing, y'all. They finna come at us full swing. Be careful, man. We're gonna have to be careful. We're gonna have to have our game tight. We're gonna have to listen real carefully and comprehend what these people are saying because they're gonna use our wording. They're gonna use our talking points. They're gonna use everything we have, but they're gonna do it in their own way. They're gonna spin it. They're gonna spin it some way. They ain't gonna use the 100% script. They're gonna use 50% of the script, then they're gonna add their own 50 to it, and then they're gonna mix it up and mash it together. We gotta be careful with that, man. We gotta watch ourselves with that, okay? Watch yourself, man. Please watch yourself. Because these people, man, they got a way to con some of our black American folks, man. We got to constantly get online, get in the comment section, talk to our friends in person, talk to our parents sometimes. You know, some of our family members are Democratic up to the You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna never want to change. But we got to make sure that we communicate and we stay strong-minded because they are having propaganda. They finna drag people like Tariq Nasheed, Brother Alpha Elite, what's his name? Black Alpha, I'm sorry. Black Alpha, Phil Scott, anybody that's black and prominent. That's Vicky Diller, anybody that's black and prominent. They finna come after them and they finna do a smear campaign. So we gotta watch out for the Roland Martins and the Tiffany, what's that girl? I forgot her name. She used to be on MSNBC, Joel Reed, all that stuff. So we gotta be mindful. And another thing we gotta watch out for is the Republicans. The Republicans are still racist, y'all. Let me say that once again. The Republicans are still racist. I understand black Americans are voting Republican. I 100% agree with y'all. But let's not get so caught up in that we forget like these people are racist. I don't care what they say. Well, they'll say, well, the Dem Party started KKK, blah 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 blah, but it's still white supremacy at the end of the day. Because the Republicans still benefited from it, just like the Democrats benefited from it. They all white people. You know what I'm saying? They all white people. If you think about it, they all white people, so it's just not a party thing, but let's not get so caught up in the Republican Party so much either. You get what I'm saying? I 100% ride with Trump on the immigration and a couple other things. I'm with it. But I would never take my eye off that white boy. And the only reason why I ain't take my eye off that white boy, because that white boy on the red side telling me what he gonna do and what he don't like about us. And that give me enough time to prepare for that. You get what I'm saying? But you got a lot of black folks out here. They waving the pom-poms for him. They calling him Daddy Trump. They call him Donald DeQuan Trump. All types of shit. I'm like, nah, I ain't going that far. But I do love what he's doing with this immigration. I do like what he's doing with the Department of Education. And I love what he did with some of these states, you know what I'm saying, so they can get rid. So I do agree with that. I'm still trying to get educated on the Louisiana situation, and I want to learn how does that fake black people away. So I'm gonna look at some people videos and search videos so they can explain it better, because I'm not keen on that. Another thing we gotta watch of people that's infiltrating or using propaganda or Cointelpro is paid opposition. Y'all, just on me on TikTok alone, I'm running into so many paid ops, y'all. Like, it is so ridiculous. And it goes, most of this is about Democrats, to be honest. But it all goes back to the Democratic Party, bro. These people got money to give to regular content creators to make these crazy lives. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, we see it on YouTube. We see it on TikTok, Facebook. But, man, I be in these Facebook groups. And I remember, like in December, I was in the Facebook group. I was live, just chopping it up or whatever. And I just started knowing just a flood of black Democrat supporters in the chat. So in my mind, I said, oh, these got to be bots. These got to be bots. So these people started to come up and start to talk crazy, very hostile and stuff. So I'm like, okay, that was just that day. Fast forward to now, man, these people are off the chain, yo. And somebody had to remind me, like, Brian, these people are part of an agency where they getting paid for this. They getting paid to come at certain content creators that's talking bad about the Democratic Party. And they are coming. And a lot of these people, man, it's one guy on TikTok, I think his name is Casso or Casso. He a different type of nigga. I seen some Democratic shields, and he don't know much. He don't know nothing. Like, we can debunk. He easy to debunk. That's the crazy part about it. Like, if you debate him, you can take him out just like that. But his presence, his aura, how he talk, and things like that, he can attract other people to the Democratic Party. He can galvanize a certain demographic of young people to join the Democrats. I ain't talking, he ain't no Conscious Lee. Conscious Lee try to be like a street type guy. This dude carry himself like a street nigga. I ain't lying to you. So he a different type of breed. And if they push this dude in a certain way where he's still underground, but they fund, and I think he's getting funded. I really do think he's getting funded. But he good at what he do. And I can see how women and young people follow him. I can understand. I ain't no hater. I can understand. So, but when he come talk to people like us, he don't have no rebuttal. You get what I'm saying? But he does an act and he does a move where you ain't be able to pin him down because he gonna pivot or he gonna do certain things to throw off the conversation. But how he talk, his presence, that's how people mess with him. That's how he get these new people. So that's another dangerous person right there. I ain't gonna lie to you. And last but not least, Pan-Africans. I'm starting to see more and more Pan-Africans come out now than ever right now this year. I don't know why 2026. I don't know why. But I'm seeing a lot of Pan-Africans come out. And a lot of Pan-Africans are using FBA and indigenous people as they lead. You know what I'm saying? As like the forefront of everything, to get views, to get people to watch them, to get people to come to them wherever events they hold. If you talk about FBA or indigenous people, black indigenous people, they know you're going to get click, you know you're going to get, it's like a bait that they do, right? These people, these Pan-Africans are so anti-American that they were just the ancestors. These Pan-Africans are foundational black Americans at the end of the day. Their lineage tied to this land. But they so caught up in this Pan-Africanism that they would shit on their own ancestors just to lift up Africa. Okay? Everything that our ancestors did on this land, they gonna always contribute to Africa. Why is that? Because they know if they don't do that, they're gonna lose funding, they're gonna lose respect, and Democrats ain't gonna mess with them no more. They never want to talk about that. They never want to talk about that. And reason why they ramping up now is because young people ain't trying to be no Pan-African. Like, who want to be a dusty Pan-African? I'm just saying. Most of them are broke. So what young person gonna look up to a broke person? Even back then, in the late 80s and 90s when Pan-Africanism was going on, when we seen them, man, we didn't look at them like that. Like, man, this dusty dude, this nigga Stain got a girl with an afro under her arm. Now, no offense to any ladies that got afros under their armpits. I understand, I get it. But, you know, like, who want to be like that? There's nothing about that. You shouldn't judge a book by its cover. But, man, we ain't trying to be like that. We want to be like the man that's working at 9 to 5. We want to be like that lawyer. We want to be like that doctor. You get what I'm saying? We want to be like that construction worker. You get what I'm saying? We want to be like that nurse. We want to be like that business owner. You get what I'm saying? Or we can go on the negative route. We want to dress like that dope boy. Or the lady might look like, hey man, I like how that 3 or 4 dress, man. I might not dress like that, but hey, I'm gonna put something together that's good like that. That's what we on. So Pan-Africans are coming out strong. Y'all gonna see that, man. And it might be some more things that I forgot, but it's coming. It's coming. One more thing too. They're infiltrating the college, the HBCUs again also. So watch out for that also, man. I'm gonna do more on the HBCUs, man. I've been seeing a lot of things that's going on with our HBCUs, man, that's looking kind of weird that I'm just finding out, especially with Morehouse. So I'm gonna probably do a video on that tomorrow, man. But anyway, man, I didn't want to keep y'all too long. I think I did keep y'all too long, but yeah, keep your eyes open, y'all. These people are trying to infiltrate us. There's gonna be propaganda. There's gonna be Cointelpro. There's gonna be a lot of stuff coming at us behind this delineation move. But I always keep in mind, black people, I always keep in mind, at the end of the day, we gotta keep our eye on that ball. It's gonna be distractions over here. It's gonna be distractions, but keep y'all mind strong, man. Don't let nobody impede on what you got going on. I'm not knocking all the stuff I name. I ain't knocking nobody talking about it, but just don't take it to heart. Don't think like your brother and your sister is not for you. That's my main thing. Your brother and sister is for you. It's just people out here that we might be running into that it just ain't for us. That's the issue right there. I used to hang with people that wasn't for me. And I couldn't understand, like, damn, why I keep running to people that's not for me, until I had to sit back and look within myself and be like, you know what, Brian? I can't hang with niggas and women like this. Why? I had to figure out why I attract these people, why I'm attracted to these people, until I changed my way of thinking and way of moving and start surrounding myself with people that align with the same things I'm aligned with. We don't have to agree on everything, but there are certain ideologies that you got to have that fuck with me. You get what I'm saying? So, but anyway, y'all have a good one. Salute, and thank y'all for the love and support. Y'all be safe.